I think you need to sit down. It's Green Bay when that pack come. No rats, we stacking cheese. It's Green Bay when that pack come. I got a plug like Poe and that's on me. It's Green Bay when that pack come. Watch when it touch down. I intercept your bag and you ain't like that. I think you need to sit down. It's Green Bay when that pack come. No rats, we stacking cheese. It's Green Bay when that pack come. I got a plug like Poe and that's on me.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Matt Ramage Show. We're having a good time tonight, all right? I got a special guest, Daniel from PackersHistory.com is going to join me. We're going to talk a lot of good stuff, some Green Bay Packers stuff. Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show today. We want to talk about Davante Adams. How beautiful, how great is the greatness of Davante Adams. We want to talk about that a little bit too. But first, I want to give a little shouty to the sponsor of the show. The reason we're here, Quick Trip. All right, this season you're going to be preparing for game day. You're going to be getting ready for game day. No better place to go get your chips, go get your dip, go get your mac and cheese, go get your chicken tendies, go get all the things that your beer. Most importantly, it's beer lover day today. I didn't know that. I ran out of beer already, so I had a couple. All right, but I'm out. Anyways, happy beer lover day, everyone. But yeah, so go to Quick Trip, get your beer, get your chips, get your dip, go get all the stuff. They got pizza, they got everything that you need to enjoy Green Bay Packers or whatever NFL team that you're watching. You know what I mean? But let's bring in Daniel to the show and let's go. What is up, Daniel? Hang on, I gotta give you a round of applause first. Woo! We're gonna have a good time, but so this is Daniel from Packers History. I want to do something real quick, Daniel. All right, so how have you been, man?
Yeah, I've been good. It can't be better. We got less than 5 days to the season opener. I mean, come on.
Dude. How jacked are you, first of all? Because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to have a good time. We're going to read some comments, ask some questions over here in the comments. But how jacked are you for the football season? Because the offseason, I don't know if it was just this season, but it felt like it was like forever and a day.
Yeah, I mean, you just think about what the stories were in May and June and July, and they just kept going. The who's it going to be? Who's going to be the quarterback? And it just feels good to know at the very least we got one more year of Aaron Rodgers to enjoy. I mean, it feels so good.
I'm jacked up, dude. I'm jacked up. I was watching the Pat McAfee show, which I want to get into, but not quite yet. But it got me more jacked up than I already was because just hearing Aaron Rodgers talk about like everything. I didn't actually get to watch the whole thing because I got home late.
Yeah.
I was waiting on my wife. It happens. But dude, I'm jacked up for this season. Like I'm so sick of saying the same stuff because I done shows this whole offseason.
Sure, yeah.
Talking about Aaron Rodgers is gonna be great. Davante Adams is gonna be great. A running game, a defense, all these things, but now it's here. I'm so sick of talking about what might be, what could be.
Right.
What it's gonna be, and now let's just do the damn thing. And but I want to get to a few of these comments here. We got Mark Deaton checking in. What is up, Mark? So let's talk about this real quick. We got Buck and Aikman on the call Sunday for the Green Bay Packers.
Pumped.
I actually like him because a lot of people they get a lot of hate. I don't like Troy Aikman. I'll say that, like as a football player, because I'm old and I remember him devastating my team. But like as like calling the game, I actually like these guys.
We're good.
Buck, first of all, is like ridiculously good. He's like he is like what it's supposed to be like calling a game, in my opinion. Maybe John Madden back in the day.
Yeah, I think right now Joe Buck and Jim Nantz are the top two. I mean, when they're calling a game, it's under control. You know it's going to be good.
Yeah, I remember, dude, back in the day. I think my favorite probably is John Madden, and maybe because I'm a Packer fan and he loved himself some Brett Favre.
Yeah,
Brett Favre, you know, like he just steps back and he just slings the ball. He would just like say like what happened, but it would make it sound so
right.
I would like to see John Madden talk about just someone crossing the street. It's like he just stepped off the curb, he just walked right across that thing. You don't see that every day. I can't talk like John Madden, but I'm just saying, John Madden back in the day was he was fantastic. And anyways, so what are you drinking there? It's Beer Lovers Day.
Yeah, I figured I'd bust one out. I heard you talking about that earlier. I'm drinking. My parents actually came out to see me a couple weeks ago, and they brought me some Off the Rails IPA from Wanakee, Wisconsin, a place I've never been. It's the Lone Girl Brewery, though. It's very good.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
No, me either.
This is like the first show I'm not drinking. I got nothing.
I'll drink for you. Don't worry.
All right. This is the first. I'm embarrassed. And it's National Beer Lovers Day. But I had a couple. I just didn't save any for the show because I got thirsty. But I thought I had more beer. That just means that explains why I don't remember Saturday night. I thought I had some beer. But so everyone, appreciate you tuning in. We're gonna talk about a lot of football stuff, a lot of Green Packers stuff. I want to talk about what happened to Pat McAfee. I want to talk about what happened. Oh yeah, Davante Adams. I lost my train of thought. What is up, Alex Schroff? Check it in from the comments section. What is up, my guy? But before we get into all the football fun, because we got some football fun to talk about. Daniel over here from PackersHistory.com is like a history wizard, right? I'm gonna call you a wizard. I don't know if you've been called a wizard before, but
not lately.
No, you're a wizard.
All right.
But before we get into that, I want to talk to y'all a little bit about Manscaped. All right. Manscaped's got you hooked up. You use my promo code Ramage20 and your balls are going to thank you. All right? If you got a hair on your head, Manscaped is going to help you. See, this graphic doesn't look good with it on there. But use promo code Ramage. You get 20% off. You get free shipping. My dog's freaking out. This is not going well so far. Yeah, but use promo code Ramage. You get 20% off. If you got a hair on your head, people, Manscaped wants to help you get rid of it. Did I say your head? No, your body. If you have a hair on your body, Manscaped wants to get. I got this nose trimmer. I got it right over here somewhere. But the best nose trimmer I ever got in my life. Because I buy a lot of nose trimmers, trying to find the perfect one. I finally got it from Manscaped. And if you want to go down beyonder, hey, that's up to you. But they got you covered there too. They got a nice little carrying case so you can Manscape on the go. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code Ramage. You get 20% off. It's such a great deal. Go get it. Dude, your lady friend's going to thank you. Whether it's your wife, whether it's your girlfriend, whatever it is, she's going to thank you. Go to manscaped.com. Dude, I should not be on close up, dude. I do not. Good. I'm going to work on these ad reads, by the way. I'm going to get better. But go to manscaped.com. Use promo code Ramage. You get 20% off. You're saving a bunch of money. Whether it's your ears, all right? Whether it's down beyonder, if you're shaving your back, if you're shaving your legs, I don't care what you're shaving. You want to get rid of the hair, Manscaped's got you covered. Use Ramage, promo code Ramage. You get 20% off. All right, let's get into this thing. All right, yeah. Daniel.
So I think we wanted to talk about Adams, right? Just kind of like where he.
Because, well, first of all, because you're writing for Cheesehead TV now, right?
No.
Well, I thought you were doing something with them.
No, not with them. We're 100% independent, baby.
Oh, you're. So I should do research. I thought I saw that somewhere. Anyways, but you have your own website where you write about Packers history.
Yeah.
PackersHistory.com, obviously. So that's what you were telling me. Like you wrote some stuff about Davante Adams, how he like ranks up. I'll just let you say because you're talking about Julio Jones, obviously, who's one of the greats.
Yeah. So basically, the whole thing we wanted to jump in on is everyone knows Adams is amazing. Everyone knows he's, the best or one of the best receivers in the league. We happen to think he's definitively the best, and so does the rest of the NFL on the top 100 countdown. But I figured we'd give a little context to what that means. So this year, when we watch Adams, we can kind of understand where he fits into Packers history and also how special it is that he is the best receiver in the league at this moment. So if you look throughout Packers history, what's insane is that he is the very first receiver that is definitively the best wide receiver in the league since Don Hutson. No other Packers had that title. There's been guys that have been close. Sterling Sharp probably would have got there without the injury. He was right knocking on the door right there with Jerry Rice for a minute. But there's no one else in Packers history that have ever been the number one since Don Hutson. And that's where Adams is now. He's at that level, which is insane.
Okay, so like I was talking about this earlier, and people were talking in my comments saying, "Well, that's because he has Aaron Rodgers." But and I hate that narrative because he did good when he had Brett Hundley, and I'm not bashing Brett Hundley, but like I think he had 10 touchdowns that year, didn't he?
I think he had double-digit touchdowns that year, but he was the best player on the field. Him and Aaron Jones balled out when Hundley was the quarterback. It was amazing. Yeah.
So like the Davante Adams is because there's certain quarterbacks in Packers history who did great when great quarterback play was happening, but Davante Adams isn't good because of Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it helps.
It helps.
It helps like when you have a Hall of Fame quarterback, but Davante Adams is like next level. Like if he had Aaron Rodgers, if they came up together and he had Aaron Rodgers his whole career,
record breakers.
Yeah, dude, he would have slaughtered. I wouldn't say slaughtered, but he'd have been up there with like the best of the best, with the Jerry Rices, with the Randy Moss, and I don't know who has the records like below Jerry Rice. I know a lot of great receivers were out there, but not a lot of them played as long as Jerry Rice. But
that's the thing, yeah.
Davante Adams is a ridiculous route runner. Like that's the thing, he just gets open and he can catch. So like when you can just get open, like dude, his route running made Ocho Cinco cry.
Yeah, that was a great video.
It was. But so talk about that a little bit about Davante Adams, like it's just how beautiful he is.
Yeah, it's his route running, it's his release off the line of scrimmage. He might have the best release in NFL history. He gets himself open better than anyone that I've ever seen. I'm not a scout, but he's better than anyone I've ever seen. He might be the best route runner there's been in decades. It's incredible. The accolades, you cannot, overemphasize how good he is. Yeah, hand strength. That's another good one by Joe there. He doesn't drop the ball either. I mean, his drops are incredibly rare. So it's just special. But what's nice about it is he's currently 8th in Packers history in receiving yards. He's 1 spot ahead of Greg Jennings. He's 1 spot behind Freeman. He's 4th in receptions. He's ahead of James Lofton and just behind Jordy Nelson. And he's 4th in touchdown catches. He's ahead of Donald Driver and just behind Sterling Sharp. So one thing that I like to look at, and David too, the other half of the site, we kind of project like where guys are going to be this time next year. And let's say Adams, let's project what his 2021 season is going to look like. Conservatively, you could say 120 catches, 1,400 receiving yards, and 15 touchdowns. That's a great season. That'd be like everyone's career best, except for a handful of guys.
Yeah.
For him, that's conservative, based on how good he was last year. So if he has that season, a normal Davante Adams season, he will be 2nd all time in receptions behind Donald Driver. 15 touchdowns easy, Phil says. Yeah, exactly. If he catches 15 touchdowns, he will be in 2nd place in Packers history, only behind Don Hudson. He'll pass Jordy. He'll pass Sterling Sharp. And if he has 1,400 receiving yards, he passes. This is how many guys he passes. He passes Antonio Freeman, Boyd Dowler, and Jordy Nelson for 5th place in Packers history in receiving yards. And there's a chance he could pass Hudson in receiving yards too. So
yeah,
unbelievable.
It's bonkers. So like, and the thing is, dude, this is one thing that I've been saying like this whole offseason. Davante Adams is going to be so hungry.
Oh, yeah.
It's a contract. He obviously wants to get paid. Hopefully, I don't know how the whole contract thing, because I'm not no cap guru, but I know the Packers are not in cap friendly area. Like they're not after this season.
They're what some people might describe as in cap hell.
Yeah, they're not having a good time, but they're professionals, and I have faith in them. Whether it's here, whether it's somewhere else, Davante Adams wants to get paid. But if he does stay in Green Bay past this season, like I would have to think he's gonna be number 1 at some point. I don't know, because like Don Hudson, I don't know his numbers, but I know that he did very well for himself back in the day.
If Adams just averages 10 touchdowns for the next 4 years, which 10 touchdowns a year is nothing for him, he'll pass Hudson in most touchdowns in Packers history for receiving touchdowns. And that's a record that will have stood for over 80 years.
Yeah, it's wild to even think how good Hudson was. Like people understand why there's a building named after him. is he dude like because it wasn't even a passing league then. Like he was just doing things that nobody was probably doing like at that time. It's just ridiculous.
Literally making up the routes. It's incredible.
Yeah, like Hugh said here, and he has a good 5 to 7 great years left in him, and if he's healthy. But yeah, like hopefully it's in Green Bay. Like there's no way to like predict and like
Right.
I have no idea like what's gonna happen. But yeah, dude, Davante Adams is so great, and he's not great because of Aaron Rodgers.
No.
It helps. Like you could have really nice tires, but if they're on a crappy car, like
they're really coming into their own as a tandem, and it's really special to see because like look at like in 2019 when Adams was throwing the when Rodgers threw the ball to Adams, he had 99.1% was his quarterback rating, 99.1. Last year when Rodgers threw the ball to Adams, his rating was 136. Now the highest it can be is like 158.3.
Yeah.
So 136 is absolutely incredible. And there's no reason to think he won't duplicate that this year. I mean, they just reached a level.
Yeah, I mean, because we talk about like how great this receiving group is, but I don't think that anyone's is stealing snaps from Davante or like stealing balls from Davante. No. But there's people who you can't if you want to double Davante, some other people are going to burn you. So they have to be careful, like pick their poison of what they're going to do. Because I think MVS is going to go off this year.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think so. If you want to double Davante and leave MVS unsingle, like you better have a fast individual covering him, and that can, yeah. So like, what do you think about Lazard? Because a lot of people we haven't really talked about Lazard lately. I'm not sure his numbers last year, but I think he was hurt a lot. But what are your thoughts on Lazard coming into this season?
Love him. He's a kind of like a classic glue guy. Like he's just whatever the offense needs, that's what he's going to deliver. Like so many of Aaron Jones breaks so many long runs, and you're like, oh, good on you, Jones. But it's the blocking downfield that really gets those going, and I think it's incredible. I mean, if you think about it like this, Adams is the best receiver in the league. MVS is statistically the best deep threat. I mean, that's undeniable, especially if he cleans up the drops. And Allen Lazard's the best blocking receiver in the league, which is incredible. I mean, so look at your wide receiver core right there. And that's not even talking about Amari Rodgers or Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I definitely think that this receiving group, yeah, like Lazard, like I think that's kind of what he's known for. There's a great blocking wide receiver. Like, he can do his thing, but yeah, he does a lot on the run game. He's he just does. He's just dirty. He just does whatever you need.
Whatever it takes. And every once in a while, they need like a 130-yard game out of him, and he's got the talent to do it. I mean, he's got good chemistry with Rodgers too. So
yeah. So like, I thought I saw a good question up here. Where was this? But do you think Aaron Rodgers could get 50 touchdowns this year?
Yes.
I don't know where I see this comment's gone. I don't know. I don't see it. But yeah. So I could see Rodgers. I think. Whole thing, like I was watching Pat McAfee earlier. Rodgers is happy. He's all in his zen. I'm not really sure what that means, but I know it's peace and whatever, and it's being good with yourself. I'm not making fun of it at all. But yeah, I think he's happy. He's good. Like a lot of the stuff that did you watch Pat McAfee today? Because I want to talk about that here for a minute.
Yeah, I caught part of it like at work, like in between, like seeing snippets and stuff, but I didn't get to sit down and actually watch it yet.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it all. I was watching it like as I was preparing for this thing. And like he was saying that it wasn't true that they said don't be the problem.
Yeah.
I'll clean it up. He said it wasn't true.
Don't quote him exactly.
But basically he said that was not the truth. There's an F-bomb dropped in there. This is a clean show, people. But I really don't care like what was true, like what wasn't. I'm sure like as the year goes along and Rodgers does Tuesdays of Pat. Like, first of all, that show is just ridiculous.
So much fun.
I DM'd him to come on my show instead, but he did not respond or see it. No, I didn't. But yeah, dude, I think Rodgers is going to be hungry. I think with this whole off, I think he's going to be hungry anyways. I don't think Rodgers. I think he's a very hardworking. Like he has pride and he wants to do greatness. But he just seems very like happy and like just gonna go out there and sling it. I think it's gonna be similar to last year, maybe better.
Yeah.
I could see him throwing 50.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think he's just coming to his own completely. Like last year, he was at peace with himself. He was at peace with his legacy. You could just tell. But now he also got his point across to the Packers front office. He got everyone's attention, and they listened. I mean, clearly, he's still there. So I think he's as happy as he's ever been because he's at peace, and he kind of proved his point that, like, listen to me every once in a while, and apparently they are. So that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, and he kind of mentioned that on McAfee, but he was saying like it wasn't just them not listening because he's like it was like kind of half and half. Where like I forget the exact quote, so I'm not gonna like misquote him or whatever. But I think he was basically saying it wasn't like they were so wrong and he was so right. It was like he had opinions, they had thoughts, and one thing he said it was just like them doing things the way they do it because that's how it's always been done.
Right. Yeah.
Like everybody's job. Like why do we do it like this? Like that's just how we do it. I don't know. That's
the Packer way,
Yeah. So, but like I do believe that Rodgers, any quarterback, I think the starting quarterback you should hear his input unless he sucks.
Yeah, I would say if he's definitively like one of the top 20 quarterbacks of all time, you probably listen to him. And Rodgers is probably closer to the top 3.
At least pretend. Like ask them their input.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you ask your kids like, what do you think we should do here? Like, and they say something like, oh, okay, well, at least do that.
Get an intern to be in the room to like be like writing down his notes and then just throw it away after, but at least pretend. Yeah, you're right.
I think that like my thing is like with any starting quarterback with like if you're like a top half of the league, like if the offense is around you and you're not a running team and you just have a quarterback, just don't screw it up. But if you have like a good quarterback, like you should say like in preseason, like, hey, what are you thinking about this receiver? What do you think about that receiver? Like we might still cut them, but like give us your input. What do you think?
Yeah.
Like, because I think it's important. Like I think the quarterback has some input, like on if a guy's is good. Like what does he think? Does he think he's going to get better? Like he dropped a few balls that preseason game. What do you think? What do you see in practice? Because they're the guy throwing to him. So yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
This comment here we got is Matt sober? He actually being coherent and articulate. It's kind of scary. Is that good or bad? Yeah, but I am pretty sober. I got a slight buzz. I had a few beers before the show, but I ran a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah. So let's talk about this because this is what everyone talks about. What do you think about keeping King? I'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, I mean the talent's there. He led the league. No, he did not. He led the team in interceptions a couple years ago. So I mean, he's a talented guy. He's a confident guy, but you can't. It's no fault of his own, but you can't trust him to stay healthy. But I love it as a 1 year. So you don't throw Eric Stokes into the fire. You give him at least a few games to like experience the NFL before you kind of hand him the reins of like cornerback 2. So I like it for 1 year.
I think for 1 year, like what they paid, I don't think it's bad. You say Eric Stokes, I think at some point he's going to take that number 2 spot.
Yeah.
How early. It's kind of like the Bears quarterback situation. We don't know when it's going to happen. And we have a Bears comment here. Maybe the Bears need to stop taking input from the quarterbacks. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't think the Bears. I think Justin Fields, I think that he's probably going to be good.
Probably.
Seems like it. I don't know. I'm not a scout. I have no idea. But it seems like it. I think he has a good attitude. I don't hate Justin Fields.
No.
I tried once. It was a Saturday. I was like, I'm going to hate this kid. And I can't do it. I'm glad that they're not starting him. I think he's probably better than Andy Dalton. I don't know what's starting off because I think that it's better to let a kid sit his rookie year unless he's like next level or you have nothing behind him. But like even Patrick Mahomes sat, obviously Rodgers sat. A lot of guys sit. It's beneficial to them. But
especially when the offensive line is as bad as Chicago's.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like you can't just let a dude get beat down, and end up like David Carr. Like David Carr, like back in the day. Not Derek, David, his brother. Yeah. I know you know that, but anyone listening. But yeah, David Carr just got slaughtered. He's got beat down. I don't know. It was like my first day at my job, I went home, I want to quit, but I didn't.
Exactly.
18 years later, I'm still here. Uh, what is up? We got Ben in the building. The Green Bay guy checking in. But yeah, so like, what are you thinking about this season? Do you have a record prediction? Like, do you have any bold predictions?
Let's see here. Record prediction. I'm sticking right with. I have to check with the other half of the site, so it's not our official guess, but I like the 13 wins. Let's just do that again. 13 wins, 3 years in a row. I know we got the extra game, but not worried about going 13 and 4, which sounds weird to say, but I'll go with 13 wins. They got a tough schedule.
I'm gonna do probably Thursday my official record prediction, but I think it's similar. I think 13 wins is good. I'm probably gonna predict on my official prediction 17-0.
Sure.
Because I will not give any fan base satisfaction on me picking my team to lose to your team.
Right.
I think 13-4 is reasonable. They have a tough schedule. Like this season is not no gimme. Like I'm the most optimistic fan of all time, maybe besides my guy Ben over here. Me and him are pretty similar. But it's a tough. The Niners are going to be better this year, depending on their play. But they're going to be that whole division over there.
Yeah, it's scary.
And we play all of them. So it's going to be interesting. But Dude, I will never predict the Packers to lose. Dude, like every week, I will make a video telling you exactly why the Packers will not lose. I guaranteed victory against the Buccaneers last year twice.
Twice.
The first time, they're like, all right, I get it. But the second time, I got mad because people were like, oh, what are you going to say now? Oh, the Packers lost last, so I did it again. I was like, I'll double down.
Right.
And they should have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
I should have been right.
I'll give a bold prediction though. Not.
I think his internet.
I don't think it's decided to go for the all-time receiving touchdown record, the one held by Randy Moss. He's got 23 touchdowns. I know they have the extra game, but it'd be pretty sweet if they could take over that record, throwing to Davante all year. So that'd be pretty sweet.
That's a good point though. With the 17th game, how many records do you think just get demolished here?
That's the thing. I think in some ways people will respect it more if that record's broken in the 16th game of the season rather than the 17th game. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know how we're going to prorate it. I think you're going to have to start looking at stats on a per game basis rather than per season, which is weird. But I don't know. I don't like it. I still wish it was 16 games, but I guess it gives us an extra Sunday to drink and watch Packers.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
That's the thing that it used to be, was the 13 games back in the day?
It was 14 for a while, and
Yeah, so so those records from back then, they were broke. Like it's always been like that. Yeah, we got an extra game to sit around, watch Packers, drink some beer. So I'm good with it. But so I want to ask you about this.
Sure.
Rashawn Gary. This is a great question, by the way, Joe or Brandy. My eyes don't work that well. Joe asked some good questions too. We'll get to that one. But I got Gary getting 10 sacks this year. And I actually said that earlier. I think Rashawn Gary gets over 10 sacks. I don't know. I guess that would be a bold prediction. I'm not sure what he got last year, but I think Rashawn Gary is going to absolutely go off, whatever, if it's bold or not. I think Rashawn Gary is going to go off. Zadarius Smith, he's got some injury situations. He was practicing. I saw you post on his Twitter.
It's encouraging.
Yeah, so that's good. I think Preston Smith's going to have a good year this year. I think this whole pass rush is going to be great. I think that they're hungry. You got Kenny Clark in the middle. What are you thinking about Rashawn Gary and this pass rush?
I would love it. 10 sacks would be sweet. I would absolutely love 12 or 13. We actually think at our site, we kind of put out looking at who could possibly be named first team All-Pro. And Gary was one of our kind of X factors of, if he has a great season, he could free things up for Z to go off and have an all-pro year because people are going to have to worry about him on the other side. He could free up Kenny to have his best season. All sorts of, if the pass rush is insane, that helps the safeties and the cornerbacks. So, I mean, Savage could absolutely go off if they're pressuring the quarterback on every snap. Gary could be the linchpin of the entire defense. So 10 sacks, I love that, at least.
Yeah. I saw like people saying like that Rashawn Gary could end up being like all pro and he's gonna be great. Like the people who know football and watch, like, I just think he is because I just have a feeling. Like that's how I have feelings. I don't have knowledge.
Right.
I'm not a scout. I don't watch guys in practice and be like, oh, this guy because of this and that. I just have that's how like I used to get all my feelings from Madden. I used to play Madden, and like Will Blackman back in the day. I started him. He wasn't a starter, but he did good for me one day. So I just put him on. I was like, oh, he's the guy now. He's young then. And then, after that, I loved him. I was like, oh, he's going to be great. And he ended up being, a good corner. But nowadays, I just have inklings. I drink some beer and I think about it. But I think Rashawn Gary is going to be fantastic. I think that pass rush, like you said, that pass rush being great will help the corners, will help the secondary. Someone was asking earlier, what do you think about the defense as a whole?
I think they're going to be very good. Like I think they're going to be the best defense we've seen. They're not going to be at the 2010 level, I'll tell you that much, but they might be the best since then. Do
you think that they can be like top 10? Like,
yeah, I think if things go right, if Gary takes that next step, if Savage takes that next step, with Jair Island over there, no one throwing that side of the field, they could be top 5. I mean, this defense is it's exciting. So.
Dude, it is. This whole team, like I'm just jacked up.
Mm-hmm.
Jacked up, people. So what else you got? Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple more kind of like cool Davante Adams stats if you want them.
No,
I got some notes here. So you saw the tweet earlier how Adams has more career touchdowns than Julio Jones. Which it was shocking to a lot of people considering he's played a lot less games. But get this one. So Robert Brooks, kind of a fan favorite in the 90s. He was a touchdown machine. He made the Lambeau League popular.
Jump in the stands.
Yeah. Adams has more touchdowns in his last 37 games than Robert Brooks had in his entire career.
That's wild.
So people haven't internalized how lethal Davante Adams is yet. Like, they know he's great, but they don't know how historically good he is.
So, like, what about yards? Because I saw people talking about Julio Jones with your touchdown in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do they rank together, like, within yards?
Julio is going to be a Hall of Famer because of the yards he puts up. He's led the league twice in total yards. He's led the league 3 times in yards per game. But right now, like, that's all fine. That's his career. But right now, Adams is going to put up more. He put up more yards per game last year. He's going to put more yards per game this year. So at this moment in time, Adams is the superior yards, receptions, and touchdown wide receiver. When you compare their careers, Julio gets the nod in yards. So
but
Julio's great. You know what I mean?
And then that's the thing. Like, when you compare a guy to another guy, like, people think that you're trying to knock the other guy. You're like, no, using him as a threshold to show how great our guy is. Like, Julio is fantastic. Obviously, if you've watched Packer playoff games in the last however many years, at one point or another, you've seen how great Julio Jones is.
Right. Yeah. So I got a couple more here. This I thought was pretty funny. Adams, think of all the touches he's had in his career. He touches the ball a lot. He's only fumbled 5 times. Seems noteworthy. That's pretty dang good.
Oh, that is good, especially because he struggled early on in his careir. Like,
he had some fumbles. He had some drops.
Yeah.
It's so funny thinking back to the days that actually one of our me and the other half of the site, one of our favorite Davante memories is that first playoff game he ever played, the Dez dropped it game.
Yeah.
he struggled all year. He was dropping balls, and then in that game, he just balled out. I think he had like 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 or 8 receptions, and we called each other after the game, and we were just like, that wasn't just a young guy having a good game. We were like, that was the birth of a star. Like, he's going to be a star in this league. And all these years later, now he's the best in the league. So absolutely love it. And he has the highest touchdown percentage, like touchdowns per game in Packers playoff history for wide receiver. So not only is he amazing in the regular season, he's the best ever in the postseason.
That's wild. It's clutch. And it's funny to think how many Packer fans were wanting him cut. They're like, oh, we're done with them and this and that. And people don't have to acknowledge that was them.
Right.
you can hide that fact. People who wanted him cut, you don't have to admit to it.
You can delete your tweets. Yeah.
I would. I wasn't one of those people, but I also wasn't like, oh, I think he's going to be what he is today. Like, I'm not like some mythological fortune teller.
Didn't see the future.
Yeah. But I actually think the same thing about Tonyan. I think Tunyan's going to be great. I think Tonyan, I'm not comparing him like saying he's going to be the best tight end in the league. I did that once. People got mad at me. I compared him to Kittle. Like, well, they're friends. You know what I mean? No, but he obviously had the touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
I don't know that he'll get the targets enough to like match like a Kittle or one of the top tight ends who get the ball thrown him so much because of Davante Adams, because of MVS, because of the style of offense. They have a good running game. I think he'll get more balls thrown at him. I think he's gonna ball out. I love me some Robert Tonyan.
Us too. He's probably the easiest guy to root for on the team. Like, he's up there with like Jenkins, and there's just a couple other guys where it's just so easy to root for them. And he has a chance for some history. No Packer has ever had Packer tight end has ever had back-to-back seasons with 10+ touchdowns. None. I mean, we've had some good Paul Kaufman, Bubba Franks. There's been some good tight ends coming through, and Tonyan could be the very first with back-to-back double-digit touchdown seasons. So I'm looking out for that this year.
Robert Tonyan, all you need is 10 touchdowns. You're breaking Packer history. I'm sure he's watching, you know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
Of course. That's what he does on his Tuesday evenings. No, I could see it. Like you say, like this comment here, though, he said, I think there might be a little regression. Oh, no, that's the wrong comment. But let's read this anyways. A little regression from Tonyan just because of all the other weapons on the team. But Tonyan should still be a solid weapon for Rodgers. I kind of agree with that. Like, it's asking a lot to say he's going to get another 10 touchdowns this season. I think he could. I just jacked it up and I just yelled it.
Right.
But I think he could. But like, he's right because of this comment right here I was going to read. He said, that's why I'm hesitant to predict yards for wide receiver this year with the addition of Cobb. The offense is totally different since the last time he played in Green Bay. But just the fact that I don't think Cobb was brought to Green Bay to be like that guy that he was, or to be like Davante Adams, obviously. Like he's a role player. Rodgers likes him. I think that was a key thing. And I think he's a good wide receiver. I'm not saying he's not a good wide receiver, but I think he's good for Amari Rodgers too. Like,
oh yeah,
there's no bad reason not to have. The Texans are still paying him a good amount of money, so like there's no reason. There's no bad thing about having Randall Cobb on the team. I think he's a good leader. He's a veteran. He's going to help out not just Amari Rodgers, but he's going to help out the whole receiver group. I'm sure Davante Adams still sees him as a leader. Because he was there when he first came up. I'm sure he helped him a lot back in the day. Obviously, Davante Adams is sure of himself. He's not like, oh, what should I do here? But I think it'll be good for Davante too. They're all going to have a good time. Whenever you're around your friends, you're having a good time.
That's it.
Sitting around the garage drinking some beers, you're having a good time. You're sitting around the garage by yourself drinking beer, you're still having a good time, but just not as much. You know what I mean?
Not as good of a time, yeah.
I'm not sure about this one. He says Tonyan will be the highest paid undrafted free agent to come from Green Bay in a while. I'm not. I'm sure that's true.
I have to think. How much did Sam Shields get paid? About 10 years ago. He must have got a pretty. 10 years ago. He must have got a pretty good payday. But
yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that does make sense though because You know what's funny? I'm gonna bring my son's comment into this.
There you go.
Ramage is a fraud.
That's your biggest fan right there.
That's my son. I gotta give a shout out to him. So that means he's downstairs watching. Do some chores, dude. Oh yeah. So let's talk about this. I want to talk about this. I almost forgot. I was talking about Stephon Diggs earlier. Some people didn't like my comment on. So I'm gonna clear it up to be very. Sometimes when I'm in my truck, I just get out of work. I go right to my truck. I make a little video, and I want to be crystal clear what I mean about this. See, because a lot of Viking fans are saying, "Well, you're wrong about." Stephon Diggs was a cancer in a locker room and this and that. But how come Viking fans were talking all that trash about Aaron Rodgers? Oh, you got to keep your star happy. The Packers front office is horrible. They can't keep Rodgers happy. Well, Rodgers is happy now. They fixed it, whatever they did. Rodgers is in the locker room. So, they're like, well, Diggs is a diva. He's a wide receiver. Control him. Figure it out. Make him happy. You can't because Kirk Cousins is your quarterback. My only point with that video is saying that Stephon Diggs, they called a cancer. They said he couldn't be handled, and he was just destroying the locker room. And now he's in Buffalo, balled out last year, out like never balled out before, I believe. And he obviously was a good wide receiver in Minnesota. And now they name him a team captain. So, he's obviously not a cancer there. And then you say, well, he was a diva in Minnesota, but not in Buffalo. Why is that? Because of the team? Well, then maybe you need to look at your team because you had Randy Moss. They called him a diva too. He was a diva and he was all these things. Doesn't matter who the Vikings have, they don't win. They had Brett Favre, almost got there, didn't happen. They had all these great teams. They had Randy Moss and Chris Carter on the same team. 1998, I forget who the quarterback. I always get it wrong.
Randall Cunningham.
Randall Cunningham. They had an excellent team that year. Couldn't get it done. They should have. They had the highest scoring offense in NFL history at that point. Couldn't get it done. Like Viking fans, dude, they in my comments all the time talking trash. And then when I talk trash, they get all mad. Like, oh, why is this guy always talking about us? Stay out my comments. Stop messaging me. Talking about the Packers suck. They haven't won anything since 2010. When have you? You're like, you can't talk about we haven't won anything since this when you never won anything since ever. Like, dude, win a Super Bowl, then come back to me. You're like that little stepbrother that just wants to tag along and be important because everyone's just talking about the Packers and the Bears, and the Vikings are like, oh, we have a good running back. Yeah, you had a good running back before. You had Adrian Peterson. Stepping over people, running for the end zone. Like, I get it. Delvin Cook is good. But your quarterback is Kirk Cousins. Like, you could talk to any player you want on that team. Your quarterback is Kirk Cousins. And ain't no disrespect against Kirk Cousins. I just think he's a horrible quarterback. I think he's overpaid. They paid him $85 million guaranteed. Guarantee the whole thing. Like, we don't want to spend time on this contract. Just guarantee it all. Let's get it done. Now we have ourselves a quarterback. Dude, the Vikings are trash. They're going to continue to be trash. And if Vikings, I don't know what to tell you. Like, jump ship? I don't know. Go down with the ship? Skull, baby. Skull. I don't know.
You'll like this one. I'll let you guess on this. So Adams, his most career touchdowns against any team and his most career catches against any team. I'm going to let you guess which team that is.
The Minnesota Vikings, baby.
You're dang right. It's the Minnesota Vikings. He's dominated them even better than how he's dominated the Bears. So
it's a beautiful thing. I like Jair Alexander. I think his rookie year, that little screen pass they threw, I think it was to Thielen, wasn't it? And he just
it might have been to Diggs, to be honest.
Yeah, it might have been. I forget exactly, but he just blew him up. Like,
awesome.
You can, like, if you want to look at highlight videos of like Green Bay Packers, a lot of it's going to be against Minnesota Vikings. Dude, I do not like the Minnesota Vikings. And I had someone today say, they're like, oh, the Minnesota, you're trashing Minnesota. Like, no, I'm not trashing Minnesota or Minneapolis. I know a lot of Packer fans live there. Like, I was there once, like a very, very long time ago. I'm not trashing your state or your city. I'm trashing your football team. Like, I don't go out trashing like different people's cities and states. First of all, I don't travel much. I don't leave Wisconsin. I was in Minnesota, or I think it was Minneapolis, for like a soccer tournament for my friend when I was like 15. But like I didn't tour the area. But I'm sure it's fantastic. They got a nice little mall over there for you guys to sell your Viking shirts that nobody's gonna buy. But it's a fantastic place. I'm sure. I'm just saying your team is trash.
Yep. One thing that we always talk about, and me and David from the site, it's just a funny, simple observation. It's Packers fans, you hate the Bears, you hate them, but you still respect them like a brother. You can have hatred. There is only hatred with the Vikings. There's no respect. They are a trash organization. I mean,
and their fans are very sensitive people. Like I trash the Bears. Like I'll make a video. I can make a video tomorrow trashing the Bears on Instagram, and Bear fans will chime in and be like,
they'll think it's funny.
Yeah, like, that was funny, but screw you too. And Viking fans, they'll just get right into combat mode. Like, and it won't even make sense. Like I could be so right, and they'll be like, well, who beat you last year one game, or who won this game in 2014. They'll like bring up like some crazy thing. We hurt Aaron Rodgers. But Bears fans, you can go back and forth, and it's fun. Dude, I get sent memes like every day almost, especially during the season. Maybe not in the off season as much. And if it's funny, but against the Packers, I laugh. Like this is rivalry. This is entertainment. This is sports. Obviously, like we get heated up when the Packers lose. I get heated up, and I get quite mad. But like, if someone sends me a meme, if it's funny and you got me, like, all right, that was good. All right. Dude, I don't know. But Viking fans, they can't. They're a very sensitive bunch.
I'll give you this one. I married a Bears fan. Okay, I would not have married a Vikings fan. It's that simple. That's the best, the most succinct explanation of my feeling on the situation.
Yeah, I don't know any Vikings fan I want to spend time with. I know one. I have a friend at work who's a Vikings fan. He's all right, but he's good people. But like I don't know. I'm sure they're good people, but they're just rotten football fans.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not saying like even like when I trash them, like the Vikings, it's not personal. Like I'm not saying like you're a bad dad and like you should be like kicked to the moon. I'm just saying that you root for a crap team and you make crap excuses. Like someone was saying here, dude, the Viking fans like with the excuses are like referees with flags. Like they just throw them all day long. Dude, I can't do it. Anyways, there we go. Let's we go. That's why Lizzo says new man on the Minnesota Vikings. All their players trying to leave. That's the thing, dude.
That's pretty good.
Which people were like, I've seen a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but a few comments were like Aaron Rodgers going to play for the Vikings next year, which is funny because I've seen I've seen Packer fans say this jokes too, but Viking fans that say it, like they don't realize because they're serious that he's still under contract. They're not going to trade him to the Vikings. They're not going to trade him to the Vikings next year. And first of all, I don't think he's going anywhere next year. He's going to play for the Packers. Maybe he retires even.
Love it. Love it. Not the retired part, but I'd love it if they found a way to just like keep him here for 5 more years. Come on.
Definitely. I don't want him to retire. But I've been saying, I'm going to say it all year. I think that I'm not going to say it all year because I don't want to talk about what could be next year. We're going to talk about winning games this year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if they won the Super Bowl. If he decided, like, I'm done. I'm going to go host Jeopardy or do my thing, enjoy my life, done everything I can do, go off on Sunset and all the things. A lot of people are like, oh, he'll never retire. He said he wants to play to his 40s. Well, yeah, last year he talked about he was thinking about possibly, But I don't know. I don't think he'll retire. But like, if he wins a Super Bowl, maybe. Everyone wants that John Elway type of thing.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy who he's very he's smart. He's a very smart guy, and he seems like he understands the principle of like leaving people wanting more. You know, so I think he knows how special it would be to like win it all and just like. See you later,
And the thing is, if Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl this year, this team won a Super Bowl this year, and Aaron Rodgers retired, he played more seasons than any other quarterback in Packer history in Green Bay.
He was on the team for more, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was on the team for more. He's got a bunch of records, not all of them, but he's got a bunch of them. And
well, to that point, just to interject real quick, he needs 31 touchdowns this year to pass Favre for the all-time Packers record of passing touchdowns.
Well, then he'll have that.
Yeah.
There's no chance Rodgers throws less than 31 touchdowns this year. So he'll have the most touchdowns in Packer history. And just like not playing for another team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at Favre. Like people think I hate Favre because I make jokes about him. Throwing interceptions all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was when he went to the Vikings. I was not on his side. Like I've always said, if my kid became a pro and they played for the Vikings or the Bears, I would not root for them. I wouldn't be up in the behind glass and the suites wearing like the Bears jersey or the Vikings jersey. I wouldn't do it. I'm a Packer fan. I'd root for you, support them.
Right.
Let me get some of that check. You know what I mean? Yeah, Hauser, do something, but I'm not going to probably wear your jersey. That's just not going to happen. Not going to wear a hat that says that logo. But yeah, so I think it'd be special for Rodgers. He could go out, never played for another team. I don't even want to talk about it because it doesn't matter. No, because like after the season, like so much, we didn't even get to week 1 yet.
I know, right?
Hey, so before we're out of here,
sure.
Who wins this game? Packers versus Saints. They're playing in Jacksonville.
Oh.
The Saints set it up this way. They picked Jacksonville because they thought it was the hardest for Packer fans to get to. But Packer fans live everywhere. There's Packer fans in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
And now I think that there's going to be a storm there. Like
that's the thing. There's like a tropical storm heading straight for Jacksonville now. Like how silly.
No, that's not funny because that hopefully everyone is safe and all that.
Yeah.
But like that's just bad luck for the Saints. Like,
mm-hmm.
Who wins this game? Hopefully it's played in where it's supposed to be, and it's not. I don't know about the storm. I just saw a little.
I don't think it's as severe.
Yeah, I didn't see details on the storm at all. I just saw someone tweet about it.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins this game, and why is the Packers by 30?
Oh, I was going to say 25, but I'll round up to 30. That sounds good. I do think the Packers will absolutely demolish the Saints. No debate. Jameis Winston, he's going to throw us a couple. You know that. Kevin King's going to have 2 interceptions in this game, and there's going to be a lot of confused Packers fans. I'll tell you that much.
There we go.
Yeah.
Kevin King, 2 interceptions. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I think Jameis Winston probably learned some from Drew Brees, his time underneath him. Being his backup. But I still think he's going to start out rusty. Kevin King gets 2 interceptions. Dude, I would love that so much.
I know.
Packer fans would lose their mind.
They would just not know what to do.
It'd be like a Vikings fan like winning week 1. I don't know if that ever happens. I don't know.
Not last year.
No, but yeah, dude, I think the Packers are going to demolish them. I think it's going to be a big game. I don't think that Saints are necessarily going to be that great this year.
Yeah, I have no idea what to expect out of them other than
1-0-1.
Yeah, going 0-1. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think the Packers win by a truckload, we'll say.
Yeah, I'll go with the truckload.
There it is. Everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're listening on the podcast, be sure to subscribe on YouTube. We're doing live every Tuesday and Thursday, plus game days. I'm going to do a post-game show every week, probably a pre-game show like when I can. It depends. Like if I go to the game, things might change. Thursday lives are going to be a little sooner because Thursday night football. I was saying that it's me at 7. And then once my work schedule changes, we're going to do a little bit earlier. But also, everyone, Manscaped, all right? Get 20% off. 20% off using promo code RAMAGE. Get yourself cleaned up, all right? Your wife's sick of looking at your hairy back, your hairy ears, your nose, maybe down beyond her. I don't know your relationship, you know what I mean? But, and ladies, if you want to hook up your guy, go to manscaped.com, promo code RAMAGE, get 20% off. Give him a nice little hint. Clean it up, buddy. Clean it up. All right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. And we out this thing.
It's Green Bay when that pack come. Watch when it touch down. Intercept your bag and you ain't like that. I think you need to sit down. It's Green Bay when that pack come. No rats, we stacking cheese. It's Green Bay when that pack come. I got a